Hey, welcome back, and today, as I promised, we are going to work on a chest. I'm going to show you this picture here. I found this, I just searched up pirate chest, and I thought this is fairly close to what I'm thinking of building. Maybe not quite as detailed, but I really like this rounded top, and so I have an idea for how we're going to achieve that. And then I'm thinking more classic pirate style with metal on the sides, and obviously we got to keep a lock. Got to have a good lock in the middle. So let's start. Let's see here. I'm going to save one of those blocks. Here's our guy for size. And this is a decent sized chest, but it could be, if we're gonna do a reward chest, we gotta have it, we can make it a little bigger, make a nice size. There we go. Maybe that's, there. I like those proportions there. Yes, it's a nice big trunk right there. Whoops, don't want to delete that, but I want this. What I want to do is I'm going to use a sphere special mesh because I can stretch it. And the plan is to stretch it out like the top of this here, and we're going to use it as our lid. So you can see I've got this. What I'm going to do, I need this part here, and what we're going to do is we're going to make this a union for the top so we can get the size right and get everything looking fabulous. And what I have to do is I have to cut off everything. I have to cut off all the sides and the bottom of this with parts. So I'm just busy removing a whole bunch of stuff here. So all of these are going to remove pieces, and then our height, oops, wrong one selected. Gotta get the one right in the middle here. There we go. And I'm just going to drag it out a bit and select all of these and negate them. Now I'm going to save this because I need this size for later. What I'm going to do is let's make a slightly smaller version. So the way I'm going to do this, we've got this piece here, but I'm actually going to need all of these parts as well. And sometimes stuff like this can take multiple levels to get the right union down. So we want, what I'm going to, let's union this first, so we've got to do that. And I'm just gonna, there we go. And we missed the bottom, so I just used this part here. So I'm gonna separate it, separate this one, resize it down a bit. And I've got a lot of my tools on shortcuts. If you're wondering how I'm selecting everything without moving my mouse, it's because I'm using shortcuts on my keyboard for just about everything. So that looks like that's a nice top for our chest. And we're going to spruce it up a bit, but I like that. It's got a nice rounded, it's nice and rounded there. And so this is going to be our lid for this chest. I wonder if we should make it, move it up just slightly. I actually would like it to be slightly taller, so I'm going to separate it. Just move this down, and then That's better. That's a nice size lid. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to move this one down too before I forget, because we've got to keep these the same. Actually, this one has to come down even more. And you'll see why in a minute. So we have our lid. I'm going to move it up. But what we need to do now is we have to take this lid, and I want to hollow it out actually. I want to make this chest actually be hollow so we can have stuff pop out of it in the end. That's the goal, is to make it look pretty cool when we have the item that you receive chest will open up and the item will kind of pop out. I don't know if we can do it, but that's what we're going to try and do. So we're going to make a nice box here. And a pirate chest, let's make it a little thicker. One. There we go. Just slightly thicker walls, make it feel a little more robust. Like so. There we go. And this one just needs to be down by like that. So let's make it wood. And these sides can be wood. And if we go back, yeah, it's all wood. So we'll just leave it at that. I don't like this wood grain. And I actually have a plug-in. Where'd it go? There it is. That will let me flip the wood grain. You'll notice, if you watch carefully, the wood grain is going this way right now, and I want it to go along the length. So I'm going to take this, and it's going to flip it for me. This makes it a lot faster for me to build stuff with good wood grain, because you want the wood grain to run the length. So there we got a box. That's all good. And we'll make it a nice, good brown. So there's a great start there. We have our lid. And we'll use part color. Perfect. So now we have to, now that we have our box, but the lid's not hollow, so let's hollow that out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move, actually I have to move all of these, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my movement to 0.3 studs, which is how thick the other walls are. And I'm going to move all of these edges in. Which is great. And then I'm just going to union this all together. I think I got, nope, almost got everything. There's actually one small piece that got missed. So we gotta undo this one, resize it out so that it'll catch everything and cut it off. And there we go. Oh, still got the bottom. Okay. One more time. There we go. Perfect. So I'm going to duplicate that and move it over here. And I'm going to move it up. Right now, if you look, perfect, that's where we want it. So I'm gonna make this one negated, and I'm gonna save a copy of this. I like to save copies of unions when I'm working with them, just because sometimes they don't like to cooperate and then you have to remake them. Most of the time they're pretty good. Aha! There we go. Sweetness. So we have a nice lid. We got our box. Now let's add a little bit of decoration. And 0.05. I'm going to go very small with this. Wait. And we can now make some very small parts. Roblox recently made us, we can make very thin parts to 0.05 thickness. Let's make this metal. Yes. And feel free, you know, once this is done, feel free to edit these and whatnot. I'm gonna make this. This was actually. This one should be 2, and this one should be 0.05. I just like to keep my parts oriented at, well, with orientation 0, 0, 0. Just a personal thing. It's not too important. So there we got those. Let's go back to our reference picture. So we've got some nice straps here, and we could just look up, let's look at pirate chest real quick. Just go to images. Here's like a pirate chest. So you can see we're going for some edging and then maybe a couple thick bands. So we'll work on some edging here. Like this. There we go. Run this all the way across. Take her all the way there. Perfecto. And we're gonna do, actually I don't want that one. Once we got all of these, we can just make, so what I can do here, instead of remaking a bunch of these, I'm just moving them across. And once I got the base here, I can duplicate, move it to the top. Nice, nice, nice. This is looking excellent. So let's get some of these now. And we're going to start working on this top here. So these two can be increased by 0.6. I can increase to 3. These can be, I'm actually going to leave those ones. So here's where I need this again. So this piece here, is going to be a template. There we go, one. So we need to get some bands across the top of this, which is going to be a little tricky, but not impossible. So we're going to take this and we're going to separate it, and I'm going to move these. So this right here, what we have right now is this entire thing, but I need it out on both sides by a tiny bit. So we're going to move these, actually 0.05. I've got my movement hotkeyed, and we're going to move it out ever so slightly. Move this the other way ever so slightly. And that's all ready. Now, let's duplicate this. And we're going to separate it so we can just get a normal thing. And we're going to make these side pieces here. So what this is going to do, this is cutting out all of this stuff here. And that's great. And I actually need this entire thing to be negated. And now, duplicate, undo that, and I'm going to change the size of this slightly. Make it 4.1, 0.1, 9.1, and I guess it doesn't have to all be 0.1, but I'm just going to do that. I got this. Actually, I have to resize it up a little bit. Okay. So, hopefully now we have this all set up. So if we grab the entire thing, it's not solvable. Okay, well, that's okay. We're going to take this a little bit at a time. So what we can do, sometimes these don't want to be solved right away. So we'll start by taking off just part of it. So there we go. So there's the piece we're going to have right there. And I actually want to save that for if we have any. So this is already set up, so I can cut bands if I want some other bands across here. So I'm going to save that for later. We're going to split it, and then we're going to union it with that. Perfect. So there we have those. Except, yeah, that looks about right. Let's see how it fits quickly. All right, so we got it fitting there. Excuse me. But we need this to come down right here, which is going to be a little tricky. Yeah, that's going to be tricky. So we can figure out how to do that. Let's see. I know what we can do. So these, we just need to cut to right there. So let's grab, yeah, we'll just use this. I'm going to move this and resize it. So what we're going to have to do is I'm actually going to take this, and I need a much smaller resize increment, because we're going to move this in ever so little right there. Actually, I need it the other way. Let's get it. So what I need to do is cut this so that it won't cut all the way. There we go. I need that right there. And what this is going to let us do is make a piece that'll only cut out part of this. There's the piece I want. And that is going to fit on beautifully. Let's fit this piece in right there. Let's change its material to metal. Sweet. So there we have the ends for our chest. Could probably extend these out just a little bit. Nah, how that worked was good. So there we go. So we got that done. That's all set. And we could have an end piece maybe, but this is looking good how it is right now. We have our inside, we've got this. Excellent. It needs a lock. That is really what we need. We need a lock on here, so let's do that. I'm gonna group this lid as model, group the base as model without that, and let's move this down onto there. And that is looking fabulous as a chest. That is great. What we could do is we'll just resize this a bit, and we'll make it like a leather strap on here. looks good. Move that there. And I'm just fiddling with I'm changing the resize increment quite a bit, just because it's very useful. Nah, you might add your own, but I'm just gonna leave it a nice wooden chest like this. But I do want a lock on here, so I'm going to make that. I'm gonna change this to a cylinder. And I only need it like 0.4 wide. Let's make our lock golden. Yeah, there we go. And we can change the size a little bit. Make it 0.1 by 0.1. Move it in slightly. And move that down. There we go. And it moved. Oh, that's fine. There we go. Bring it down. And this is also going to be a cylinder, but I want it rotated. We're going to make a nice place for this lock to go. Right here. Let's make it 0.8 and 0.8. Oops. Center it, bring it up. I'm actually going to bring this up to there. And then bring this down. Change it. And if I make a non-can collide and cylinder, it won't move. And I think, let's see. Nope, that won't work. I'll just rotate it by hand and change the size here. Doesn't need to be thick. There we go. And that can come down a little more so that it aligns right in the middle. Nice. Just like that. We're going to resize this a little bigger. Maybe put some spheres on the ends just to spice it up. Oops. I need this. There we go. That's looking nice. Now what we can do is I need to save. I'm going to put it. Actually, we need one more thing on here. We need a keyhole, don't we? So let's duplicate this. And I'm going to make it a little thicker so that we can actually cut stuff out. It's too thin. Make a nice keyhole here. And I'm going to change its block. And I need it. Nope. Wrong one again. There we go. Aha. So we'll take this. And we can probably go all the way through. So I'm going to union this piece here. Make that one piece, and I'm going to I'm going to duplicate this, move it back, and then negate it, and negate it, and you'll see what this does. So there we got a keyhole, and then this with these two, we'll make that. And then what we can do for this last little piece, because we're going to have wood behind there, we can just hide a little black block. Hide a little black block back there. And that's going to move. So we're going to bring this. What's this at? Wants to go. Just do 0.2. And I want this, and we'll make it, we could make it like a neon, ooh yes, we'll make it neon golden. Yeah, it's not golden enough. Yes. So now we have a nice chest, like that. We've got our lock. Let's make sure this uses part color. And the reason this is set up like this is we can now have it that when we unlock it, that this can flip open. We can flip the latch up and then have the thing open. And that reminds me of one more thing that we need. That is some hinges. So move this. And we can make some nice, we can make some decent sized hinges for the back. And there we go. Actually, let's make them a little smaller. Perfect. And nice, nice, nice. There we go. And we could try find let's see if something's got a good transparent one. Make it a pirate. What we're gonna do, color 3 is fine. I want the transparency. There we go. Nah, we'll just leave it. You guys can add what you want, but that's an idea there. You could add some decals on it or something. In the meantime, the one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to change these sides because I want to fix that. That's slightly annoying me. So we're going to go and get these edge pieces here. So this is the original shape. I'm just going to grab this one here and let's do it over here. Move this out of the way. Just going to move these, undo this, and there we go. Move just slightly over. Just slightly over. And then these are going to have to be resized. That's fine. Yep. That's perfect. And then we're going to separate this one. And we need just very thin pieces on the ends. So that's almost there. There we go. So there's one side. There's the other. And that is going to go almost all the way. We just have to make sure we get it right. So let's select all of this and see what it does. Alright, cool. So we've got our two sides, and let's see if they're the same height that we need. Because if they are, that'll make it a little easier for us. They're just gonna fit there, and we can remove these pieces here. Not that. I want to remove. So these will fit there, and we just then need just another arch. This will be fun. Okay, so let's take this back out. We're going to separate it. We're going to get one more piece here. Let's duplicate this and move it over. No. I'm going to change this to a big movement grid so I can keep it aligned. So I can just move it 16 studs over, and then when I need it, I'll move it 16 studs back. I'm going to move this 0.3. What I need to do is make a little piece that will basically, so you see we've got to cut out just a very small sliver here out of the side. So to do that, I'm going to make a special piece. And this is also going to have to be 3.4. Everything's got to be down by 0.4. That's going to be 8.4. There we go. And that piece is going to be what we use. Move it 16 studs back, negate it, and let's see what happens. Sweetness! That'll fit right in, I believe. Let's remove a piece, and that is going to fit nicely right there. Let's make it metal. Flint, I believe it is. Yes. Cool. That looks a lot better. And if we, let's undo that, grab everything, and I actually need to, I'm going to undo the whole thing. I got to grab pieces. So we'll grab the box at the bottom, and all of these pieces here. That, and that, and that, and that. We gotta get inside. Get this little piece here, and our bottom piece. And that. And I believe the rest. Is our lid. Perfect. Alright, so we have our chest set up, ready to go. And in the next video, we will start scripting this thing, and we'll get this working for opening it. So I hope you enjoyed this. I did move a little quickly on the unions, but you're welcome to go back. Please do, if you want to see how I did that, go back, rewatch it. If you got questions, you can always message me. But in our next video, we're going to take a look at scripting this awesome chest and getting it to open when we click and we have enough money. So until then, have a great day, and I'll see you later.